creator of Sentinels the Multiverse, and I'm going to explain how to play the game Sentinels the Multiverse. In Sentinels the Multiverse, you're playing as a team of superheroes fighting against a villain in a dynamic environment. Each character has their own deck of 40 cards that represents that character's powers, abilities, and equipment. And each villain has a deck of 25 cards that represents the schemes and plots they will bring to bear against the heroes of the multiverse. In an average game of Sentinels the Multiverse, the villain will, on its turn, check to see if they have any start of turn effects, then play the top card of their deck, doing whatever effects are found on that card, and then continue with their end of turn effects. After the villain turn, you will move on to the hero turn, in which at the beginning of the game you'll have a hand of 4 cards, and on your turn you will do 3 things. You will play a card, use one of your powers in play, and draw a card. Hero turns tend to progress quickly, as in each hero turn, the next hero will play a card, use one of their powers, and draw a card, and move on around the table until we reach the environment turn. On the environment turn, you will take the top card of the environment deck, put it into play, do whatever the game text says to do, and that is the end of the environment turn. And we move back to the beginning of the villain turn. In Sentinels the Multiverse, there are various different types of cards. Those types include one-shots, equipment cards, ongoing cards, and limited cards. One-shots are cards that when they come into play, have an action, you do what the card says, and then the card goes to the trash. Equipment cards and ongoing cards work the same in that they come into play and they stay in play and have some sort of ongoing effect that changes the way your character works. And limited merely means you can only have one copy of that card in play at a time. The game takes about 30 to 45 minutes and plays well with 2 to 5 players, although you need 3, 4, or 5 heroes. And the core game has 10 different heroes, 4 different villains, 4 different environments, and it's a lot of fun to play. We also have 3 expansions, the Rook City, Infernal Relics, and Shattered Timelines expansion, each of which adds 2 more heroes, 4 more villains, and 2 more environments. Thank you very much.
Very stupid question. Yeah. What's the aim of the game?
The aim of the game is to defeat the villain before the villain defeats all of the heroes, and some villains will win just by knocking out all the heroes. You could always defeat the villain by knocking out the villain, except in the case of one. And some of the villains, though, will have alternate plots and plans, like Baron Blade, the mad scientist, who's attempting to pull the world into the moon into the world using his Terralunar Implosion Beam. And if at the start of his turn he has 15 cards in his trash, he automatically wins the game. Other villains, like Grand Warlord Boss, win if they have a certain number of minions in play. And each of the villains has a very specific flip mechanic, in which at a certain point in the game, the villain character card and text card will flip over to a second side, and it will change the way they play. Similarly, each of the heroes have hit points that are listed in the top corner of their card, and if they run out of hit points, they flip over. Their cards are removed from the game, but they're still in play, and they still use their incapacitated abilities to help their teammates. So you're never actually out of the game.